Hey kids, welcome
Hey!
to episode. Hey,
Hey!
hey, hey!
Hey!
Welcome to episode. Welcome to episode 32 of the 1/6 pack.
Great start. Great start.
Yeah, that's fun. Got to mix it up. My name's Trevor at 1/6 Shooter.
Hi, Trevor.
I'm here with my friends. Hi, TJ. That's TJ.
It's the most you've said all this year on this show,
At
TJ.
Caves and
Well
Rifles.
done.
He's gonna step
Not
it up
true.
now. He's coming in now. He's good. He feels good. He's got somebody coming by later on.
That's
or
good.
tomorrow
No,
or
he's
something.
already here. So
Oh, he's here. Oh,
Yeah.
he can join us.
nice. Some New York love in the house.
So, like, you've got a friend there, and then you said, I got to go in the basement for 2 hours?
Yeah. You watches the show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Also with me, Tommy D. I have Uatu with the Toy Amigos. Sporting the Toy Amigos hat. Love the Toy Amigos. Go check them out. Probably already checking them out.
Yeah, probably.
Check us out, really, is really what we
Definitely.
want you to say. Anybody here who's here? Oh, people are here. Suddenly. Nice.
Lenny just wants to know who's there.
Well, it's not Lenny. We know it's not Lenny now.
No, it's Donald. There you go.
Okay.
Answers that question. We can move on. Let's go.
We got Jacob. We got Omar V. Nate. What's going on, Nate? Frail Vampire's here. Thanks for joining us.
Cool. There should be notification for this guy who's awesome. This guy's great.
It is great.
Wait, what is that?
This is the regen suit Superman with the mullet from the Death and Return of Superman.
Oh, nice.
Mafex.
Oh, that's the Mafex one?
Yep.
I don't know that was.
But this
that
is
one.
not 112. We're talking 1/6.
Wish we could
Yeah.
talk about it, but it's not the right scale.
Sorry,
right.
it goes off
Maybe
camera.
we need to do another show.
I know.
Anyway, we have a very special guest with us tonight, who was very nice to come on at the last minute. Just want to get somebody on. We had a lot of news, but wanted to get him on for a while. And I was talking to him the other day, and I'm like, we gotta get you on the show. He is a 1/6 collector, although like me, if you go to his Instagram, you probably have to scroll back a little while before you see some 1/6, but he does do it, and it's great. He is a toy photographer. I think he's only been doing this for a couple of years, but he's skyrocketed. He
Yep.
took off. Got a lot of followers. Friend of all of ours, favorite of all of ours. Instagram is visual underscore approach underscore photo. It's Sean Kenary. What's going on, man?
Good evening.
Is it Kenary? I forgot to ask you. Is it Kenary?
It's Canary, like the bird.
It is Kenary.
Oh,
Oh,
even easier.
wow. That's what I thought at first, and I'm like, that can't be right.
No, imagine what elementary school was like for me. So yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, elementary school, man, people can make anything out of anything. You know, I was like,
Yeah.
Although the only thing that really rhymed with Trevor was lever and clever. So
Lever
that was-
Williams. And he'd be like, yeah, that's
wasn't-
right, ladies.
It wasn't too
Lever
bad. Yeah,
Williams.
leather or clever. I mean, really, all right, I'll take it. It's fine. Whatever. Well, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate it. Wanted to get you on here for a while. We're all fans of your work.
Well, thank you.
Definitely.
And,
Huge fans of all of your work, which you
well,
know,
thank you.
because I can't stop saying nice things about you.
because you're a nice guy. You're just a nice guy. And I think that's part of it. You've gotten taken off. So let's talk a little bit about that. Like I'm gonna open up some stuff here that you've done. When did you get started? You've only been doing this for a couple of years, right?
I think we're approaching the 3-year mark. I think it was April
That's right.
of 2019. I started, and I think I told you this story. My sister-in-law gave my wife a DSLR camera, and I had
Right.
this growing toy collection. I didn't know what to do with it, so I started, rather than making them punch each other, I decided that I would take photos of them, having seen it kind of on Instagram and falling in love with it.
So you saw it on there. You were aware of the community and people doing it, and that's when you decided to sort of get into it.
Yeah, and it felt like it was okay to still be learning and while
Mhm.
still posting your work,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you could see people's behind the scenes, you could see the process, and people would comment and be encouraging, and it felt like it was okay to make a mistake and still post it, and like because
Yeah.
you were learning with every post. And I felt as though I felt like it was okay to do that. And it was kind of I don't want to say, it was a safe place to be creative and get feedback and get to know people in the community. And that's the main reason to do it.
Right. Yeah, it's I gotta say, it is a great community. There's been the minimum amount of drama, I would say, in terms of a community that big, especially, you know, not in Facebook. Maybe Facebook's worse, I don't know, but you know, meaning to say, like, nobody's posting something and then just there's this comment thread that's just a war all over the place. Everybody's just very encouraging. Everybody's just, you know, gives, if you want feedback, get feedback. They're very open with sharing techniques and things like that. So it is great for anybody's learning. And I've seen people come up, like, we'll talk about your background a little bit, but I know that you know, there's been a lot of people who never picked up camera before they came on here, and just looking at people's work and kind of asking questions and going through. I love this shot. We'll talk about this in a minute, but just going through people's BTS, it's amazing how good some of these people coming up now, that, you know, they like 200, like 100 posts or less, and they're killing it.
It's insane.
Right?
It's amazing to watch, though. It's inspiring.
I know it's great. Like, cause, you know, I mean, when we got into it, Tom, you were into it a little bit before I was, and TJ and I kind of got into it about the same time. And, you know, there were people sharing a little bit, but it was kind of closely guarded, and you always felt like, oh, this is, you know, so-and-so's sort of thing. Like doing explosions, that's Sergeant Bananas' thing or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like, oh, you can't do that. But then everybody was kind of like doing all that stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like there's too much that's proprietary anymore.
Not now, no. But it's style. What I like about it is it's become a thing. And I think this existed to some degree before, but I think everybody's stepped up their game so much, from putting stormtroopers in a field and exploding something behind them, to really dioramas and all the people who are making dioramas. I mean, there was probably one person that I knew that was making dioramas when I got into it, and now there's 24 people making dioramas.
The tangibility game has changed dramatically over the number of years we've been doing this. You're absolutely right. I didn't even think about it that way. It's like when we first started doing it, it was like, you use what's around you kind of thing. And now people are doing 3D printed parts of like any small detail of a figure that, like, you might have dreamed, like, oh, but what if they look like this from this one scene of this show? But that's not how the actual figure came out. Someone will make that. It's crazy. And
exactly. I mean, it was a lot of, I mean, not everybody in every case, but there wasn't a lot of environmental things. So it was either, you know, digital with a couple of things in it, or people would take it outside, and you'd get those, especially people coming into it, you get, like, you know, the giant fern in the background, you know, so it kind of took you out of it. And then they kind of learned, like, oh, okay, things should be in scale. And and now, you know, everything I see coming out of new people jumping into it is like, it's like they've been doing it a year already. You know what I mean? It's pretty incredible.
Yeah, I think when I joined, the community was kind of starting to coalesce and was a little more fully formed. And so there was the people that were making props and doing diorama work. And I think one of the first things that I did was make this obnoxiously large foam wall so that I could shoot stuff in front of it, because the only thing I could do was go into my backyard. And in my backyard, you could see my neighbor's tree. And if I didn't have the right settings on my camera, there's his shed's over there. And so I need to
everything had to be shallow shot, because you couldn't have, like, the fence showing up in the background, or, you know.
Yeah, it was quite the crash course. And I remember taking a few photos in my basement. I'm pointing to where you can't see. And I've said this to you before, Trevor. I took this photo of it was Aliens versus Predator. And I just thought it was I was like, I've done it. Like, I've figured out toy photography, and it's so good.
We're gonna go find it right now.
You have to when you see this, and I was immensely proud of this thing. It's purple and green, and if you look at it, it's hard to actually tell what's happening. But when I took it,
but you're one of those people. Like, I remember some of your early stuff, but you are one of those people that within, like, months of starting this thing, as far as I remember, maybe that you'll jog my memory here, but
you'll see.
You were like, well, believe me, I mean, anybody's feed, you go back far enough, it's like, oh my god,
you had a strong sense of, like, color, light, and shadow, like, from the get-go. Like, you could tell, like, there's certain people that just have, like, that artistic bone within them, and they could just start off with like their feet solidly on the ground, and you were definitely one of them, Sean. Like you obviously picked up techniques and other things as time went on, because your work today is wildly different than it was, and it's like every shot is just like, holy shit, I want that hanging on my wall. But like you
stormtroopers with explosions, like you gotta go through this phase, you know.
It's
you gotta do it.
It's puberty for a toy photographer.
But I will say, like, even with the explosions, and this is nice composition, and there's depth here. You know what I mean? There's, you know, it's beyond a lot of the things that I've seen when people first come into it. So you definitely haven't hit it yet, right?
No, it's pretty far back. But you know, it's when we're talking about BTS, and I've said this to Tom and to you, Trevor. Your speed edits, Tom, like there's things that you can learn from those. Like I use layers of soft light and stuff, and that I paint in and do whatever when I got Photoshop. You're getting closer to it now.
Sorry.
Scroll up.
This is what I remember. You were doing shelf shots and stuff, which is what I started out doing too.
Yeah, this is when I first got the camera, and I was like, oh, okay, I have a camera now. Here we go, party time.
I think most of us started with shelf shots. My first shot, I think, on my page is like my Hot Toys just like sitting on my counter. I mean, like, here they are, toys.
Again, like this is still a good shot, but like going from where this was to where you are now, knowing, you know what I mean? Just the cropping and lighting and everything is amazing.
And that's reminiscent of there it is, that in the corner there, down below.
Go down one, yeah.
Oh, that's not
there's one other one.
This one here?
Left. Yeah, that one.
I was convinced that this was like, there it is. I've done it. I can stop now.
You hit the pinnacle.
I've hit the pinnacle.
I'm very glad you didn't stop there, by the way, Sean. Let me tell you.
That was me, my George Costanza leaving on a high note.
That's it. Goodbye. Good night.
And honestly, the queen in the background was what I think I was probably most proud of, because it looked like a diorama piece. But I was now it's hard to tell like what is actually happening, but you know, thankfully.
Yeah, I get it too. I get that. Like, yes, of course, you've evolved beyond this greatly, but yeah, I mean, you know, the highlights and stuff like that. But I mean, still a good sense of composition and storytelling. You know what I mean?
I was going to say
the bones were definitely there, even here.
You're using even like when was this? What was the year on that, Trevor? Before you start scrolling away.
Do you want me to?
2019.
2019, yeah. It was like even back like 3 years ago, you had the composition right. Like you had the queen between the two. So like as you're focusing on what's in the foreground, you're seeing it in the background. So you knew that you already knew how to set up a shot.
And just soft, out of focus, and like hidden in the fog, and you know it was good. And then you get to all right. Well, enough torture.
Pull up a scorpion shot. Because like Sean does some of my favorite scorpion pictures ever.
Some of the newer stuff, so fun. And
I'm dying for you to get that 1/6 scale.
Oh, Mike, me too.
Oh, it's not the 1/6 scale. Okay. Let me see.
That's the first one.
I love this. This is great. It's hot.
Yeah, that's rad.
Simple shot, but that's fantastic.
Yeah.
This is great. This one
the Spawn stuff was so good. Yes.
But this was this might have been some of the first stuff. Was it? I feel like this was.
That might be the original shot. This is the B-side. The first one may be the first photo that you ever commented on. And yes, I remember that stuff.
Wow. It's the same similar shot, right?
Yeah, if you scroll up,
it was right next to it. Yeah.
Oh, was it? Oh, yeah. Okay. Hang on.
Right there.
Here, yes.
That was one of the setups that I kind of left in my garage for a few days, trying to figure out how to get him so you could tell he was coming out of the hole that I made in my garage with the moss from the backyard to making it look convincingly. I remember when I put his leg up onto the grass so it looked like he was swinging down at the skeleton or about to swing, that I got kind of closer to the idea that I was originally hoping for.
Yeah, there's so many layers here, man. It's really, really cool. And this is, you shot this outside, did you say?
No, it's in my garage.
Oh, it is in your garage. Okay. And is that a light back there as in place of the moon?
Yeah, it's a Lume Cube Air with like a disc of white paper on it.
Perfect. Yep,
And that
that's
tree
it,
is from
man.
Walgreens.
Yep.
All you need.
Perfect.
And now, so you went from this because I think after this is when you started like building out your own dioramas, right? Because like you have this like broken down ruins that is stunning that you've made.
I felt like I had to start making my own dioramas just because it's without setups, it's like you can't do anything. It's
Yeah.
like you're so
Right.
limited. So
The idea is there, but there's no vehicle for it, right?
yeah.
Is this something you made?
Yeah, I made all of the buildings in that shot.
I remember
That's
these. I have these
amazing.
windows sitting around waiting for a diorama.
You got to make it.
Yeah. So that's the church that you see in most of my stuff. But yeah.
But I tell you, like that's the great thing though. You can use that in so many different ways. Like you don't really. I mean, yeah, there's a pattern to the windows, but beyond that, like you don't know that's the same thing. You know, shot from a different angle.
But it doesn't even matter, yeah,
lighting.
because like so many of these characters go through the same kind of settings and whatnot that they work. You know, like Scorpion seems just at home there as it does in the middle of New York City, or I guess it's San Francisco with the movie Venom, but it doesn't really matter. It still works.
Jax is here, and he needs to borrow that Mustafar dial.
I'll get in the car and drive it over to you.
That's a long drive.
That
You're
is a long
you're
drive.
where, Sean? Are you in Connecticut?
I'll see you in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah, really. Yeah, definitely for sure.
It's it's fun and like the encouragement from the community only drives and like reinvigorates you and rebuilds your enthusiasm. So it's like I'll use that church diorama with Star Wars. I mean, I just don't care. I'm obsessed with it.
No, I think that's cool. I think that's like that's stuff that if you can break your mind out of the normal way things, and I've had this discussion with Jason Young before. It's like we're like I don't know in the design, and Tom's in the design business too. But I always feel like it has to sort of like I'm working for a client or something. It's like the client is going to be happy if this isn't in the environment. You're going to get the Star Wars fans going, that doesn't look like Star Wars, or whatever. I don't care about that, but it does sort of in the back of my mind. I'm like, this should look like Tatooine or something like that.
Yeah.
Every time I think about shooting Mando, by the way, Sean, no doubt, no lie, no exaggeration or anything. This shot and like pretty much every shot you do with him, just like you make that armor capture the light in the scene that you're shooting. Because I know you're adding in these effects like digitally, but like I swear I see them reflected on his armor. I don't know if you're adding that in or what, but it works.
It's mildly conscious, but also a happy accident.
Well, you got a lot of great happy accidents then.
It's just
do you do any light painting?
No.
It's tricky, man. When you got a lot of stuff going on, it's just another thing to do. Like I'll usually have like the remote and the fog, and then I want to like hit something really quick. It's like I'm gonna have to do another shot and layer this because it's just not gonna work.
Yeah, I'm still getting used to kind of blending in PNGs and stuff like that. So
yeah.
It doesn't seem like you're getting
like
used
this.
to it. It seems like you got it.
Yeah, like this with the castle. This fits perfectly.
Yeah,
I mean, it's great.
My favorite part of that is the model R2D2. I just like the tilt of his head. I just love it.
Yeah.
He's like looking at us like, you see this shit? Do you see this?
Yeah.
Like,
but it's like, I do go back to the well. I mean, there's a ton of Mandalorian and Darth Vader and Scorpion.
You go with what inspires you, right?
And this was great from this. I think this really got you noticed.
For better or for worse.
Well, forget the commentary or anybody's attitudes towards this. I think it was just a brilliant. I mean, this is like when I see this stuff, it's stuff like this and things. I always bring up Katie Combs and things like that. It just feels like it's like art to me. You know what I mean? Like that's like it's where you're approaching the crossover point. You know what I mean? It's all art. It's all fantastic, and we all love the stuff, but it's almost like jumping out of a little bit out of the pop culture. It's still pop. It's not pop culture, but you know what I'm saying. Out of the genre and into something else, which was really cool. And just It's a beautiful shot, anyways. It doesn't matter what the subject was here. I just love the sunlight and everything else. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I guess that's what I was most proud of. I guess was the technical.
Yeah.
And I remember I was working from home that day, and I was like, oh, I think I can do this pretty quickly because I did a shot prior, and then I just set it up and shot it, and I was like, oh, and then haphazardly posted it without thinking.
You posted that without thinking?
Yeah, I mean, I think there between the shot and posting it was probably 90 minutes to 2 hours. And like I had an appointment, so I posted it before the appointment. So like if you see me post at 6 p.m, which is when I typically post, I'm usually at the gym training clients, and I'll usually post because I'm kind of in a hurry because I usually will post at the same time. Not that it offers me any engagement advantage. So usually it does happen somewhat haphazardly. I'll have a draft, but it just kind of happens.
You're a man after my own heart with the bounce card with the clip on it and the.
Well, I stole it from you. I mean, that was something I saw in your BTS that I started doing, and like shining the light at the bounce card, like with the trolls coming over the bridge in that shot.
Yep.
I mean, that's where I got that from.
Yeah, it's
you just have to be open to seeing that stuff and putting it into your own and see how it works in your style and with your techniques. I mean, that same like I know TJ takes different photos and can kind of layer them together and get this like incredible finish on his photos, and Tom does specific stuff with painting in and the digital design type stuff. And it's like I was an airbrush artist for a laser tag place before I joined legal. So it's like I was painting aliens and predators, and I painted Coruscant being sacked by Mandalorians back in 1997. Like,
are you serious? That's amazing.
That's awesome.
And so I was doing murals for this company. They're different. They had 2 locations, and then that place closed down. So I joined the law firm that I support now, which was 23 years ago. So that's kind of where the any artistic prowess I can claim to have is born from that.
These snoots.
I'm very technical.
God damn. That's the trick.
Yeah. Well, yeah, honestly, that's really what it is, right? It's whatever works, and it works.
Yeah.
The hood on my camera is also cardboard.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it is. Like, that's the thing. Like, I was doing all that stuff before I decided to like invest in something. Well, I mean, before LoomCube had snoots, I was making my own snoots for the LoomCubes, and taping it on. And
I have paper. I have a whole row of like paper snoots somewhere in this house that I pull out.
Yeah.
I have 2 LoomCube Airs. I have a LoomCube mini panel, 2 like little aperture LED panels, and then like 2 color change light bulbs, which I think both of them are in this shot. And that's basically what I use. I have 2 soft boxes that I use as well.
See, like this is what you're talking about right here. You got Batman, you got a little Porg, and I guess Death is sort of a statue in the background.
That's the one from the Marvel Select Thanos, is it not?
Yeah. I painted it. I made it not purple. I
wanted
it to look stone.
Smart. She's like a statue now, right? Like kind of like a. That's really smart.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah,
I need that now.
The figure is basically a statue too. It does not move.
Now, what do you do? Do you find yourself? Do you build a setup and then sort of, I mean, like one of the things like in ACBA, like Boogie's always saying, to newer people, and I get it. Like leave the setup and do some more shots with it. And even if you don't, release them all in a row. I can't do that. I've got an idea. Yeah. I do the shot, it's done. Like I'm taking the set down. I'm not leaving it up and say, oh, maybe I could do something with somebody else in this set. You know what I mean? So is that how you work it, or do you try to get more out of a setup?
So like in this setup, I probably should have, because it took up the entire table and it took me forever to set it up. But no, like you said, if I have a specific idea, the setup is to achieve the vision of that specific idea. So even the space walls, which are easy to set up.
Yeah.
I set up those space walls with the Nova for the ceiling so that Darth Vader could do that. Yep. And I might take a couple of other ones because I'm still trying to work out the pose or the composition.
Oh yeah. But it's all the same shot.
But it's all the same shot.
So you work all those shots are in service of getting that one final one to post. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then I break it down. And then, there certainly, I'm sure, have been times when I regret doing that because another idea will come to me. But
Yep.
I do it for that specific.
Yeah, that is a lot to set up. But I mean, I got to say, I do the same thing, man. I have these elaborate setups, and I'm like, I really should try and think of something else that I can use this for. But like, I feel like once the idea is out, it's over, and like I have to it's almost like starting with a clean piece of paper. If you're an art, you know what I mean. If you're drawing something, it's like, well, that one I got out of my head. I got to start with a clean piece of paper and
cross it off the list.
See, I do what you were talking about, Trevor, where I'll set up a scene and then I usually go into it with 1 or 2 ideas and I'll shoot those. And I'm like, okay, and I'll sit around with the scene set up. I'm like, what else could I do here? And I'll shoot a whole bunch. And those things will sit on my in my Lightroom for maybe a year before I finish them up and post them. So they don't look like
do that. Yeah. And that's I'm not saying I'm saying that's smart. I mean, like I wish because that and I mean, like you have the I mean, it's your style and you have the ability to do a lot of digital work to something so that if you want to change a background or if you want to just completely change up the look of something, you can do that. Like it doesn't matter what you had it shot on, I mean, sometimes, but it's smart, man. I mean, it's smart to take it from multiple angles.
Yep.
Even if it's like the same figure and it's like, hey, I'll do it where you like, let me change the pose of this. But there's times when I get stuck on like, nah, it's this pose. I just got to find the right angle. I got to get the light right on it. And then I don't even want to fuck with it anymore. I'm done.
It's funny. I actually did just do that with those 2 Republic Commando shots. Those are basically the same setup where I just moved them.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It's the
new ones.
Yeah, it's the same setup.
These.
I just kind of I just kind of moved them.
Yeah, see, this is almost like a story, though. I like that. Like, that's a good idea, and that's something I think I got to think about too. Just as a challenge to like do a story in like three or 4 shots in a panel or something.
I like it when people do that kind of stuff. It's fun to see the way that stuff plays out.
I love this shot. Love it.
The figure is so great.
I'm waiting for the second one. All you guys have killed me with this goddamn Conan figure. That the second they re-released, like where they did the next one, I was like, well, I gotta order it. And then Nate, who's your partner in crime over at the Mythic Lounge,
Nate Strong,
got me on getting the set that he has, that leather cuff set. So I ordered that too. Mm-hmm. So I'm going all in.
Cool.
Incredible figure.
So this. So that we were just talking about this the other day. All this stuff in the background. Now you could say, somebody could do this with a digital backdrop, but this is you built this. You built that lava flow and the.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had an original lava diorama, and again I watched, and I said this to you. I watched that Revenge of the Sith documentary on the DVD in less than a minute, where they show how they make Mustafar, and they do this sequence with Anakin and Obi-Wan, and they have this clear channel that they pour this orange liquid down and they illuminate it from the bottom, and so that it flows like a lava river. And I was like, I think I could do a static version of that if I use glue that's tinted orange on a clear surface and I illuminate it from the bottom.
Yep.
So my first attempt was with Elmer's glue that was orange. That didn't cure. It did cure once it solidified on my garage floor, and I had to scrape up a gallon of it. So I was talking to my wife's uncle, and he's like, well, why don't you just use epoxy resin? It cures in like 3 hours. Yeah. It's like, oh, yes, I should probably try that. So take 2, when I made the original one, I used epoxy resin, and I always shoot from like below the character's eye line. I always shoot up. Everything I do is like this low angle. Otherwise, it makes me nauseous. I don't know why.
Yeah.
So you couldn't see the diorama really unless I tilted it up at the camera. So I was like, the next one I make, I'll make sure that there's some elements in it where at least if I shoot at below eye level, you'll see it behind the character.
Right.
So I was looking at those Icelandic, lava flows from some of those volcanoes that are just kind of slowly like kind of spewing lava, and I was like, I think I could make a flow somewhat comparable to that, and it was really fun. And I did it in it took like about 5 days. I started it on a Friday, and I poured the epoxy on the following next Wednesday.
It's
And
nuts,
then I
man.
kind of painted some texture onto the lava itself, so it looked
Yeah, it
like
looks incredible. Is it so? The thing you built is on the right. Is the left? That's the digital backdrop.
that is a printed backdrop.
Printed back. Oh, you're printing. Oh,
Yeah.
you're not doing digital at all.
No, they're all printed.
Wow.
What do you
Yeah.
print? Like you like on a printer? Like just a regular printer at home?
It's
Like an
it's
inkjet?
there's a print shop that will very cheaply do like JPEGs and stuff, 24 by 36, 36 by 48. Just give them a flash drive with the image, and it's on 20-pound paper, so it's
Wow.
not glossy. It's just traditional rolls of copy paper.
You have a cheap
And I
print
just
shop that
gave
does
it-
that stuff already? That size? That's amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
Most,
That was
like I work in a kind of an urban center. I work in Hartford, Connecticut, and there's print shops all over the place that'll do that stuff.
yeah. That was like when I was first starting out. That's what I was trying to do, and it was like just cost prohibitive to get a giant print. You know what I mean? Like of everything I wanted, and then I want to. You know what? I really want to move that thing over like 30 inches. And like, well,
This is about $1.25 a square foot.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
that
bad.
is
Now-
actually really good.
Have you? So is digital something you want to do, or you're just happy the way you're doing this now, or it's just a matter of like space and not have whatever, or
It's just I don't have a screen that's large enough.
yeah,
for
that's
me
the
to-
problem.
like I don't have a 70-inch TV that I can put in the garage and then
Yeah.
shoot from. I have a
Yeah.
polarizer. Like I've done some
Mhm.
Diorama stuff before.
Yep.
But I have like for me personally, the way I find that I'm most successful is to pop something back there that's printed,
Cool.
and I'll paint like some soft light layers on it at like a low opacity to kind of bring it out a little bit more too if it looks washed out.
Sure.
Yeah. But it works out. It works for me anyway.
No, yeah. And are you using fog or aerosol?
Yeah.
Using fog. Okay.
So if I take 30 photos of the same setup, it's really because it's like I'm almost trying to shape or pose the fog. Like I need
Yep.
the
Same,
fog
man.
Yeah.
I need it to perform. And
If you shoot fog, you're shooting like 50 photos at
Yep.
least, right?
yeah, I was shooting that min-max stabs of Hades Deathstroke today and
Stabs
trying
of
to
80s.
get the friggin' smoke to just behave. It took me like 30 minutes to get it.
Yeah, it's really weird. Sometimes it's like I know this room now, and like I have a fan that kind of draws out the fog from it, which affects it a little bit, but I can still control it pretty well. But every once in a while, I'm like, why is this not sitting? Like, what is going on?
Well, I've used different fogs. I've used one that was like this, supposed to behave like dry ice, where it's supposed to hang.
Mhm.
Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. And then there's
Yep.
some fog that I've used where it's like it can't get to the ceiling fast enough.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
running from the machine. So
And what am I using? The frog fog or fog swamp or frog swamp juice? I don't know, something like that. No, it's pretty
sounds
good. It's
disgusting.
kind of heavy.
Smells kind of smelly. Frog
Sounds right.
swamp juice.
It
Great.
is. That's what it's called. I think it's called something like that. Frog swamp juice. It's pretty heavy.
I prefer that kind of fog.
Well, awesome, man. Awesome work, and that's what it's reflecting here in the comments. Damn impressive for
Appreciate it.
Figure Fan Nate. Thanks for joining us, Nate.
By the way, that's an
Nate.
awesome photo, Nate. Love that photo.
Yeah,
Everybody's got such
There you go.
good icons on YouTube. It's great.
I know, right? I know.
Well, I had to change mine. The last time I was in the chat for your show, it was like my son's.
I remember
busting
that.
chicken legs or something.
I remember that. I remember that. Well, that's very cool, man. Let's get on to some really
we find
important
out
stuff.
What people are drinking today?
That's exactly what I was gonna say.
I want to know because I saw Sean lift up a can and I want to know what he's drinking. And same thing with
All
TJ.
right, let's get our guests first.
Second fiddle.
Oh, that's not what you said you were gonna get.
No, they didn't have it. So I have
Oh.
a friend who comes over for like the UFC. We go to concerts together every month, and
Mhm.
he knows more about beer than I do. And he brought this last time, so I figured I would pick up a 4-pack of this and give it a whirl. And it's
Second
really
fiddle.
good. I love it.
Okay.
It's great.
What is it exactly? A pale ale or
It
It's
is a
IPA.
double IPA.
double IPA?
So what's the ABV on that with
Yeah,
the
really.
double?
It is. Watch, I'm
Seven?
43. I'm going to take my glasses off so I can look at it. I think it's like 8%. It's 8.2%.
Ooh, that has to be delicious.
It's so good. If I have two of them, I'm just not going to work tomorrow.
Well, hey, it's Friday, so perfect.
Right,
Have two of them.
Yeah, really.
Good.
TJ, what you got? And I understand that was your recommendation for one of the ones that TJ had too, right? That was what you were going to pick up. What was it called? The
Oh,
Devil's.
the hell awaits the Slayer. The Slayer.
Oh, I thought about that tonight. Didn't have time. So,
What do you got?
Brooklyn Lager.
Oh, okay.
Little New York.
Nice. Serviceable, good stuff. That's good stuff,
Thank.
man. Actually,
Yeah.
Brooklyn's got some really good beers.
Very good.
What do you got, Tom?
I got the Local Vibes Hazy IPA, which is from Oakland up here.
Oh, that's a pretty
It's,
can.
nice. Yeah.
That-
I didn't know, so I've been trying to theme them for our shows, but we didn't have a theme when I went shopping this week.
I got a theme one.
Because you picked the theme. You
No, I actually didn't. This goes beyond what we had for our theme, and this comes on the heels of the last minute news that, of course, came out as soon as we.
Oh,
put the
what you got?
up.
Let's see it.
I've got Blue Point
Spectral
Haze.
For a Mark Spector.
Spectre.
Wow.
Right? Not
Well
bad.
done.
Not bad. It's tasty too. It's really good actually. Just another IPA, I think.
And yes,
4%.
Angel, I'm 43. I thank you for saying I look 35.
Hey, Sean, I'm catching up to you pretty quick. So,
And I'm older than you. All of you. But I look it. So, all right, let's get on to some news. Pull this up here.
I think they're one and the same, Lenny. I think they're one and the same.
Trevor joke dad jokes? What? What does that mean?
Oh, don't worry about it.
All right. Let me pull this up. Stop the screen.
I'm excited. By the way, while we were chatting,
Yeah.
Hot Toys
Oh, for fuck's
posted, because they are in, by the way, they are in April 2nd now.
I know.
There. They posted this. Well, not this. They posted a teaser photo of this. So it is.
Oh, so they don't even have more pics than we do. I was expecting.
No, they don't. We have way
okay.
more pics than they do. They posted the
Perfect.
picture of like from his neck to his waist. Like,
How do they not know? How do they not see these all over the internet at this point? Like,
I don't know. I don't
and
know.
who is leaking this? I mean, it's got to be a retailer.
No,
or
Marvel
something.
posted these. These came out of Marvel, like actual Marvel.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That's really interesting because they're usually pretty buttoned up in terms of like, at least with Hasbro stuff. Like,
I think they had today was the day that they were like, okay, we're showing off all the Moon Knight toys, because they showed off Funko Pops, they showed off Hasbro, they showed Hot Toys. So without, I guess, the company's approval or whatever, they just did it.
Yeah,
But this is amazing.
it's amazing. Just really quick before we get started with this, we got 19 people in here, which is cool. If you don't mind, hit the like, please. If you're not subscribed, if you want to subscribe, thank you very much.
Hopefully an Oscar Isaac head sculpt, Angel. Hopefully.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the Maz was talking about this on his show today. Do you need an Oscar Isaac? Do you think that you're ever going to see Oscar Isaac in this costume without the mask on?
Not the way we saw from episode 1. Sorry, Sean. I know you haven't watched it yet.
No problem.
Not the way we saw the suit, because we also saw it in the commercials. It when he powers up, kind of thing, it just envelops him.
And I think this is an entity. This is
Khonshu taking over his presence, kind of thing.
Yeah, so this is not a costume like your ordinary hero. This is a different aspect of Mark Spector or Steven, whoever. This looks, as we already said, freaking amazing, man. Freaking amazing.
Yeah.
Light up eyes, which is awesome.
All over this.
I just think this costume, I mean, compared to this could have been bad. You know what I mean? Like, they've never done anything. Well, I'm not saying that there hasn't been bad costumes, but in terms of translating comic to live action, I really thought when they announced that this was going to be a tough one. Because there hasn't been a lot, aside from Thor, a lot of heroes with capes which is also a little, when you're trying to contemporize things and make, well, all right, Doctor Strange, but that's an actual like thing that does things, and he's a wizard, so
Yeah, he's a character. The cape on him is a character.
yeah. So that can go wrong, and just the whole white thing. But
he's not like, that's the one thing I really like about him. He's not stark white. He's like a dirty Egyptian cotton kind of mummy-ish kind of character, and it's great.
I love the wraps coming out from the chest instead of just, I mean, I didn't expect anything less from them, but I thought that this could go wrong and maybe look a little funky. And in the show, it just looks great. So far, it looks fantastic.
Gary's right. Vision also had a cape, and that cape looked amazing because that had like the tech lines running through it and everything too.
True. Yep. Yeah, that's true. Vision had a cape too. They kind of downplay. I guess it's just like, this is such a part. It's that Batman thing. It's that McFarlane. That cape is such a huge part of this costume. You know what I mean? Whereas Vision has a cape. Thor, he's got a cape.
But no one does like.
But Thor's cape doesn't go like.
It doesn't make a crescent moon shape in the sky when he's diving over buildings.
Exactly.
Like Moon Knight
exactly.
Does, Which I want to know how this cape does that, because this looks like a regular cape. To do the crescent, and really needs to have like that sharp, angular lines. So it might just be
that's
CGI
interesting.
magic.
I wonder if that'll be an extra, like the Batwing suit.
Oh, maybe
it'll just be a piece of sort of like stiff. Maybe it'll be plastic or something like that, so you can put it out there.
They'll save that for the deluxe release.
Exactly. If this does well, they're going to milk it. So who's getting this? TJ? Yeah,
definitely.
Sean, you holding off?
It's tough to.
You haven't seen it yet. You haven't seen the show,
and that's true, because there's plenty of properties where you see the figures come out before you see the show, and you're like, that's interesting, and then you see it and it's really compelling, and it's like, you have to have it. So I will reserve judgment.
I think that what we might get is maybe a 2-pack,
like a Mark Spector with
maybe Mr. Knight. And Mark Spector.
Okay, so that's what I want. Like, the Moon Knight looks amazing, but I really want a Mr. Knight, and I feel like Hot Toys won't do a Mr. Knight, but maybe. But I feel like a So Toys would do a Mr. Knight, and I'm all about that.
Well, yeah, they probably will, but I can't imagine Hot Toys isn't going to either, though. But I would take a 2-pack of that. You know what I mean? Because that's going to be a pretty simple figure, and really, what do you do besides hands with that? I mean, so far that we know, I don't know. Maybe there's something else to Mr. Knight that.
Well, you could do the bird skull mask.
The Conchu, yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. But even if it came with that, I could see. I think he's going to be a character that people want. I mean, they haven't done that since the Hulk, though. So,
well, a 2-pack where one's like the hero, one's not.
Yeah. I mean, but Bruce Banner is in, Bruce Banner's in it so much by himself, not as the Hulk, that you kind of had to give people that. I don't know if that's the case.
Well, we got the Boba Fett 2-pack where it's Boba Fett in his armor, and then Boba Fett not in his armor. So that's a 2-pack recently.
That's also Boba Fett. So
but I mean,
slap Boba Fett on the box, and you can sell another one.
I'm feeling like Moon Knight's going to be another one of those. Slap Moon Knight on the box, and you're going to be able to sell it.
Could be. I keep hearing like the guy who wrote the first episode isn't writing anything until the 5th episode again, and that I've heard mixed reviews. Like the people who've seen the first 4 episodes, some people said it's the best thing that Marvel's done on TV so far, bar none. And other people saying, yeah, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th episode are pretty good. Hopefully he comes back for the 5th, and it'll be, I don't know.
Well,
but most of those people I don't really trust anyway, but I don't know.
That goes into a lot of stuff about spoilers that I would love to talk to you guys about, but I don't think we're in that spoiler range yet for this.
No, not yet. Not yet. All right. So that's Moon Knight. That's all we got. I mean, I don't know if there's anything else floating out there. I only found those three pictures.
Hot Toys posted just a close up. So that's it.
Yeah. Okay. Hello. Just pin up Mall.
You're right though. His neck is really long.
Well, that there was a thing floating around that people were showing that somebody obviously hadn't popped it. Although this is magnetic, so it's not a matter of popping it on solidly. It's just it was something wasn't right.
After you guys sent those pictures over our text, I went back and started looking at all the pictures I've seen from all the bloggers, and it did seem like that neck is a bit longer than it should be in a lot of.
Well, I mean, anybody. Okay, so we all collect these things. We've all probably had to, remove clothing to do whatever, something mod or just whatever. You know what I mean? Especially when you're doing customs, you have to put the clothes on. So when you see that body that it comes on, it's a very out of proportion body, obviously, because the clothing is so much bulkier than our clothing that they have to account for the neck being longer and the shoulders being further down. So then when you've got a body like this that you have to, luckily the clothing he's wearing is fairly light and it's just a tunic. You have to adjust a little bit for that, or it's going to look like he's, his neck is all hunched up when he's got the clothing on, but it still looks a little high. I don't know. I'm on the fence about this, man. That's a terrible pose.
That's the Solo head sculpt from
it is. So they went with Solo for this.
And I have I like that figure a great deal.
Yeah.
So I didn't see anything compelling about this one. He looks okay there. Not only is the neck appear to be a tad too long, it's also too narrow for the size of his head.
And I think that's a big part of it too.
It's the back, right?
It would be fine.
Yeah,
it looks a little weird from the back, like it's not reaching the back of his head. I mean, that's what you get for a separate head and neck, but there's no other way to do that. So,
like that's one of the ones that kind of shows like how his body looks like it's way older, or it's like the Skinny Steve situation in Captain America, right? It's like regular size head, weird little skinny body. Like what's happening?
Well, they're basing it off a cartoon.
Yeah, but his head is a lot taller and longer in the cartoon, so it matches. They went for a human head on a cartoon body, which wasn't going to match up.
That, and I would have expected, like when he was first in, the Phantom Menace, that he was bulkier than this. You know what I mean? Yeah. The shoulders, especially trapezoids. Like just a little bit bigger, and just because. You get cut in half. God knows what happens to you, but you're bound to lose a little weight.
Has anyone swapped the head sculpts to see if the Phantom Menace head sculpt looks better on the body?
Haven't seen that yet. I don't know anybody who's gotten this in hand yet, aside from like some of the reviewers. But I don't know if they've done it. I haven't watched. I don't know. It's cool. This is one of those things, and we're going to talk about the Yoda in a minute. That I, quite frankly, if I were going to go for this version of Maul, I might go for the cartoon.
Yeah, I would want the cartoon.
Yeah,
I think that Hot Toys missed the boat on doing here's our Ray Park inspired sculpt, here's our cartoon inspired sculpt in a DX package.
Yeah, it's a great sculpt, but
amazing.
Like you said, Sean, it's the Solo sculpt, and that's probably a better looking figure overall.
Yeah, I really like that figure. I'm dying to. I need to get it in front of the camera.
All right, so that's Maul. He's out. This is not, but holy crap, this is.
Amazing.
Hot Toys is just. I don't know what's going on over there, man. We all they scan these actors' faces for many reasons, obviously for CGI and stuff. Do you think that's what they're doing at this point? Because this is nuts.
Yeah, it's an on-point sculpt, but it's clearly not scanned portraits because some of them come off missing the mark so wildly.
I know. It's really weird. Whoever did this though is
yeah. Now, okay, explain, because I didn't look into this myself, but is it just a swappable face plate? So it's one head with two faces?
I believe that's probably. It looks like it, right? It looks like there's it's a straight seam along the top where sort of that cloth thing hits.
That's
so
brilliant. It allows them to really kind of like
absolutely
do great faces.
Yeah. And both of the faces are just awesome, man.
100%.
And I know everybody loved the fact this character. Period. He's a great character.
He was wearing the classic comic book Loki suit. Like we got to finally see it, and he looked perfect for the role. This actor was like a perfect choice.
Goofy little, zigzag collar and everything, man.
Yep.
It just he pulled it off.
There's no cup. Can't come with the chalice. Marvel was like, no,
I know.
no cup.
I know. What did they say? Somebody said that they were like, what? Did they want to promote alcoholism or something? Or what was the point behind that?
I'm gonna guess it's that. I'm gonna guess it's drinking. But yet, I drink a lot of things out of cups, not just alcohol. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna give me Indiana Jones without the Holy Grail from the, you know what I mean? Like, wow,
you could drink alcohol to that, Trevor. So no.
Well,
that's Disney now, isn't it?
Wine, for God's sake. I mean, that's what you're doing. I mean, literally, for God's sake. Yeah, weird. Just weird. I don't know. Jesus, that's
stunning.
Unbelievable.
Mind-blowing. I love the pitting and stuff and the horns. And even the collar is dirty. Like, it's like he's really been through some shit.
His little diaper's dirty too.
Yeah, the cape is dirty. Everything's dirty. It's interesting.
The fraying on the cape is great. That's incredible.
That is nuts. Nuts.
All right, so who's getting this?
Not me.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean?
I'm on the fence for Loki, Sylvie, and original Loki. I would love to have all three of them on one shelf in here.
Yeah.
I loved that show immensely.
It was great.
It was
And I
a
saw
great
this Susu Toys one, and I wasn't sure. I think this sculpt holds up. That one I was blown away by. I thought it looked really good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And when I saw this one, I was like,
this one takes that cake.
Yeah.
The other one has the accessories though, because the other one comes with like alligator Loki and like other stuff, but the sculpt is what wins on this.
Well, this has got alligator Loki.
Oh, he does have an alligator. Oh,
Mhm.
that's really detailed too.
Yeah, opening jaw too. And Frog Thor. It's great.
That looks great.
That's really cool.
His name is Throg.
Frog, sorry. Yeah, I love this show. If I have to go down the route of like, getting things for every, and I realize if I get stuff from this show, I don't have to get every show.
Yeah, you don't.
That's
the way it goes. You know what I mean?
I was just so enamored by the head sculpts. I thought Sylvie's was unbelievable, and I saw it. I was really taken by it. And then they've done it again here. It's it's like I feel like that trinity of Lokis would be wonderful.
All three of them together are really excellent.
Yeah,
looking figures. This is probably going to be one of those things that if you just buy it, keep it in a box. God knows he won't show up at this point. Spoiler alert! But I think this could go up in value. This would be something people would be looking for down the line.
The thing that gets me about this, and the reason why I have even the smallest inkling of internal struggle about whether or not to order this, is that this is, I think I've said it before on this show, is that I collect Hot Toys because it's a representation of these characters that I grew up with from the comics. So this is the comic Loki. Like this looks exactly like the comic Loki. It's just prior to this, I already pre-ordered the President Loki figure because that's my favorite Tom Hiddleston head that they've done. I'm going to put that on my Ragnarok body, and I feel like that's going to be like my Hiddleston Loki.
Right.
I'm like, so I already have like that perfect Loki of that in my collections. Like, do I need the classic comic suit version?
Yeah.
Because it's been represented. So it's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
And as Elliot said, it's $285. It's not like nothing to sneeze at. They're getting ever so closer to that ceiling of 300. That's
$285 is a standard now, man. I feel like
that's
this
not
is
a standard. Not one that anyone should.
Well, you got alligator Loki, so I mean that's probably going to add a little stuff. And what? No, so they took out the chalice because the chalice
is not there. Yes,
the chalice is here, but it's
for that photo, but not today when they announced that it wasn't going to be a part of it.
I wonder if it's like the DC thing where it's like we don't talk about the guns, but the guns are in there.
The chalice is Bruno. You don't talk about it, it's gone.
Exactly.
I watched that movie twice today.
Did you? Well, you have kids.
We were just talking about this. Just only twice today. That's pretty good. You got
Only,
away
yeah.
with. Yeah, you got away with something there.
I was downstairs in the basement here, and the soundtrack was on the Alexa. Then I walk upstairs, and they're watching the movie. I'm like,
Of course.
Wow. So you can't even escape it no matter where you go.
gotta go sit in my car.
All right, so that's Loki.
That is Loki.
No, it isn't Loki. That's Loki, apparently.
I mean, the helmet's gorgeous too. Like everything is gorgeous about
It
it.
is gorgeous. And then we got another teaser for the second villain in this, right?
Third. It would be the third villain from No Way Home.
Third
So we got
villain,
Ock and Goblin. And
That's
now
right. We got Goblin and Ock, right? Yeah, Electro. So, Tom, you were saying not a fan of the costume.
No, I don't like it looks like Whiplash. Like when they showed off the stuff for the Electro from this, I'm like, it's cool. I'm glad that they didn't make him blue. He's not the blue eel from the Amazing. And I'm glad they kind of paid homage to the mask. It's just I don't want wires and tubes and whatnot everywhere. Like Electro's just like we were looking at with classic Loki, he has a very classic green and gold suit, and they could have done something a little closer to that streamlined.
Yeah.
It makes sense in the story. I have no problem with it in the movie, but I don't need a figure of it because it's too overly techy, too complex.
I can see that. I could see something. Sorry, Sean. Go ahead. What?
I said resistance is futile. He just looks like a board.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been something like almost like a padded, like that diamond patterned padded suit. I mean, all right, that's a little bit of a shocker, but
yeah, it would be more shocker with the quilt.
But the reason that is that was like kind of a protective type of suit you'd put on for electrical, big time high powered electrical work. I mean, I don't. If his power is to harness, does he need the suit? Is that what those tubes are for?
The tubes are drawing the power from the arc reactor, which, by the way, that's another figure with an arc reactor on his chest. That's the whole thing. I'm like, do I need another harken back to Iron Man being the linchpin of this Marvel universe? Not really.
Wow.
I'm hoping. Well, here's what I'm hoping that we get.
It's kind of a hard take on Iron Man, man.
No, I love Iron Man. No, I love Iron Man. But I mean, it doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to reach so far that Electro also has an arc reactor.
I hear you. TJ, what do you think of this? I don't know why it wasn't zoomed in, but
no. I'm still waiting for actual Toby and Andrew remakes.
Yeah, everybody is. Every comment in every release is where's Toby and Andrew.
It's the new Cyborg. Yeah,
it is the new Cyborg.
Yeah,
and it has to happen. It's got to happen.
Oh, it will. But it better not be a re-release.
Likeness rights. That's probably just likeness rights at this point, or something.
I desperately don't want re-releases. I want new, updated figures.
Oh, they got to give us new sculpts.
Yeah.
Especially Toby.
Oh yeah, old man Toby.
Yeah,
that may be my first Spider-Man 6 scale.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My son has become an immense Spider-Man fan, and that may be.
You're raising a good kid.
That may be the one. He's begging me to get the quarter scale Tom Holland.
Tell him to do a lot of chores. Maybe if he saves up enough with all of his allowances.
We're gonna do a quick economics class this weekend, I think.
Okay, but you can only watch Encanto once a week.
Once a month for that kind of price.
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
Do we have a price on Loki? Oh, $285.
$285 on Loki.
Electro, we don't know anything about.
We know nothing.
Right.
We know nothing.
We know nothing. KX Enforcer Droid, speaking of reuse.
Yeah, good on them for reusing the K2SO body.
Yeah. And I see a lot of people saying, yeah, I'm glad I didn't pay $600 or $700 for K2. I could just get this, which I suppose. I mean, I don't think K2 is this beat up.
No, I actually like the beat up look on this droid, though. I think it looks really nice.
It does look really good.
It looks like a Star Wars droid now.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah, K2.
They're going to re-release K2 in a year and a half anyway.
Probably
when Andor comes out.
Yeah, true enough.
Yeah, you're probably right. I didn't even think of that.
And I'll finally get Cassian in that jacket.
Yeah. Now, do you think they'll go back and do you think they'll show up? What's his name?
Bays.
Bays.
I mean, I hope, because I want Bays. They had
I
the
know.
figure made, but
know.
I guess
Yeah.
I might be making this up. But I think I heard something where it was like it was an actor issue. Like he had something in his contract that he didn't want to. I
Well.
don't remember.
Yeah, probably. Who doesn't want a toy made of themselves? I mean, good lord.
I know.
I mean, probably if I were Scarlett Johansson, I would be like, no, thank you, because I've seen what
Well,
people do with those toys. So
I suppose.
yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you didn't get K2 and this is cool, you could definitely place him in the shelf as a more battle worn K2 for sure.
And somebody will army build this figure like they do with clones.
I'm surprised it's not TJ. TJ, how many of these are you going to get?
-2.
Really?
So you're going to pay Hot Toys like $400?
Where was this on the show?
They showed it. It was like a scene of like a bunch of K2s. Like,
Was there?
yeah, it was like a Terminator like scene.
Yeah, if
Yeah,
you
it was
blinked, you
the-
missed it. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Night of 1,000 Tears flashback.
I saw it. I'm like,
Boba Fett.
what?
Right.
Like, no.
yeah, it was almost a direct Terminator.
It was. It wasn't
Rip.
even almost. It was a direct Terminator ripoff.
I mean, we'll call it a
Rogue
tribute,
droid.
but it was a tribute.
Yeah.
In the
Ooh,
most direct way.
Elliot's talking about my dream. I want a Cal Kestis Hot Toys figure. I'm still championing this. I still want it.
Oh, I'd be
Yeah,
into that.
surprising that isn't happening, right? Really interesting.
He just got his lightsaber at Disney, so maybe
It's a missed opportunity, I would say.
the second game is in the
So
works too.
if I'm going to Galaxy's Edge next week, I think
Oh wow!
we're going to Florida. Can I
Cool.
get that lightsaber?
You can. It's there. It's there now.
Excuse me.
Sweet. I saw the announcement. I just didn't know if there was like a lead time or something.
I think the announcement was that it was now available. If I'm remembering right, I think it was.
Wow, sweet.
Too far back to notice Mr. Bitterness. Too far back to notice any details. I don't know if that in the show you mean. I don't know. You're getting it there. You're right, Tom. The weathering does look great on this, and I almost wish that K2 looked a little more like this.
Yeah.
Quite frankly.
He is grimy. Look at that.
Yeah. Cool. I don't. Do we have a price on this?
A lot.
Yeah.
Do we?
Yeah,
I mean, I can.
I don't have a
figure it
price or a date. If you can look it up.
out. I will.
There was some surprising diecast on the first K2 release, I think, right? For the
In his legs, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the upper
So-
arms, I think, too, right? Was the upper arms? Can't remember. It was great, man. I mean, I got it. I didn't pre-order him, and I picked him up a little late, so I paid a little bit of a price for him. But it's a great figure. It's a really great figure.
You remember when Sideshow used to have their figures directly on the homepage? That was a great time.
Yeah, when the new stuff. Yeah,
I hate the new site.
things.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Like,
All right, well, we'll come back to that when you get the price. Let us know. This price, I think, is 165. 165.
285 on KX, the Enforcer.
285.
285.
It's not too bad. He doesn't come with much,
Nope.
but
He only comes
Yeah,
with
that's the
one
price.
pair of hands that are with fully articulated fingers.
right. So
And maybe Yoda.
what's your take on this? Anybody?
Love
Go
it.
ahead.
Me too. I love it. I think it's great. I wish
TJ,
Hot
love
Toys
it?
was doing animated styles like this as well.
I love it.
I love it
I
too.
love that he comes-
And it almost
Maybe.
like. Go ahead.
I'm a maybe.
You're a maybe.
I'm a-
Okay. Yeah, I'm a maybe too, only because I didn't buy in on the Ben or Anakin. Surprisingly, I was just like, I don't need cartoon. I almost feel like I want these in 1/12 in this style.
It'll never
but
be
this
this
looks
style
damn
though.
good.
No, Hasbro. Yeah.
I know. This looks damn good though, and now
It
it makes
does.
me want the other two.
And at 165, I mean, granted, he's small,
I know.
but think
Yeah.
about Hot Toys are charging what 220 something for their characters about this size, so that's not a
Mhm.
terrible price for Yoda. That looks this close
No.
to the representation of how he looked in the Clone Wars.
If the final product
looks-
looks like this, that would be great.
Really.
I hope the
It was
body's not
really, really
loose.
good.
That's my biggest.
It's just not a
problem.
thing that. Yeah, I know. It's Sideshow, man. Probably,
Wait, go
probably,
back
and
to
it's. What's
go to
that?
the next shot with Anakin and Obi-Wan. Yeah, I want them all. Changed my mind. I'll
I
take 'em
know
all.
that's the thing.
Yeah, they
Like
look
I
good
thought,
together.
maybe I could just get Yoda as like a representation of Yoda, because Yoda is one of those figures like Vader that can stand alone on the shelf, and it's just like, yeah, it's Yoda. But they really look good together. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then if they do Ahsoka,
Oh, stop it!
yeah.
I would buy that one immediately. I would buy
Yeah.
Ahsoka immediately.
These might be. I don't know, man. These might be sleeper things, especially with the show coming out and just resurgence of that. I could see some sort of resurgence of Clone Wars, because I know a lot of people have not watched Clone Wars. I didn't watch it for the longest time. I didn't watch it when it aired.
Same. Yeah, but I watched it.
but
And when I did, I'm glad I did.
Yeah, me too. I mean, there was a lot to get through, and some of it
Yes.
wasn't quite worth it. But overall, it was like Rebels. It was like every other show was excellent, and then there was like, that's a filler. But it was really good. It was really good, and maybe it'll send people back to that, since it's on Disney Plus now. You could easily watch it. But
He's got swappable feet.
it's just weird. These feet, though, these pegs look very strange.
They do look really strange. Like I was wondering that
Could
myself. I'm
be
like,
prototype. Sometimes everything isn't like perfectly cut or whatever. But yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. I like it a lot. I don't know. Anybody picking this up for sure? TJ, you're getting all three now?
What's coming out first? I assume the
I'm assuming these two are coming out
Yeah.
first. Yeah.
that Obi-Wan is tempting, I will say, because I do like Clone Wars Obi-Wan.
I kind of want to see. I kind of want somebody to get it in hand, for the
Yeah,
exact
same.
reason you said, Tom, was the body. Like
Yeah.
if I got to go and replace, there's no replacing this body, because this is not a standard body either. This has got to be a custom body. Just the narrowness of the wrists and things like that, and the proportions. So if this is floppy, it's gonna suck.
Have they done a Yoda before, Sideshow? Are they reusing one of their old Yoda bodies?
They
excuse me.
did do a Yoda. They did do a Yoda. But I don't know if this is a reuse. I'm not sure. I mean, you'd think they probably would, but I don't know if that was floppy either. But because I didn't have it.
Well, Chris is saying here that they tease Ahsoka with the Anakin promo shots. I'd be interested in seeing that, and that might.
They did, yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I need to see what that looks like.
Yeah, like every side, like I want to see this in hand, and then sometimes it's like it's too late, and like the
They don't do as big of runs because
Right.
Sideshow isn't selling as much as others.
although didn't that what was it called, the Obi-Wan, the Obi-Wan and the Boba Fett they came out with,
Mythos.
the Mythos, right? That came back around, didn't they? Come back out with the Obi-Wan and the Boba Fett,
Wait, they re-released them after they originally released them?
didn't they?
I didn't think
That's
so.
the-
Because I felt like they were sold out years ago, and then like I felt like I could have picked up Boba Fett last year.
I think they did them as statues, and then they did them as 6 scale.
Yeah, I
Maybe
was
they
looking
did.
at the 6 scale, so I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, they re-released General Grievous, and he
I
had the
forgot
same
about this.
issues as the original one.
Yeah, so for in the category of another one, 3-0 is doing G.I. Joe 1/6 scale figures now.
Well, they have been. They did
They did
Snake Eyes
Snake
and Storm
Eyes.
Shadow.
That's
Yep.
true. Yeah.
Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow look great too. And Snake Eyes is
I just
out,
kind of
right?
thought that they might be doing those and not getting onto like the human characters, but I don't know why I thought that. I just kind of felt like
Yeah,
3-0. I don't know.
Because I mean, like
I don't know.
Cobra Commander. Give me a Cobra Commander. Give me a Destro.
Because those are the
Yeah.
popular characters, and it's like kind of like something like, well, Cobra Commander would be too. Yeah, Cobra Commander.
and Destro and Baroness, and like there's a lot of characters, and like Roadblock sells really well, I think.
All right.
Because I mean that was what Mezco's like second GI Joe character too.
All right. Yeah, you got me. I mean, I was kind of thinking like, because all I've seen, I guess I've been watching people online like talk about this and saying like, yeah, it looks cool. even with the 6 scale Snake Eyes and stuff, like it looks cool, but I don't need this. You know what I mean? Like, I've got Mezco to choose from. I've got Super 7. I've got Hasbro.
I will say the Mezco looks better than the 3016 scale, personally.
I agree. I agree. And the people who are getting GI Joe for the most part, listen. I mean, there's all sorts of collectors. There's people who would collect, $800 statues of GI Joe. I'm sure.
Yes.
But generally, the whole point of GI Joe, when they were 375s, that you could get the vehicles, and it's all about military. I don't know.
Actually,
if I was into GI Joe, I'd probably
Trevor.
Yeah,
GI Joe began in 1/6.
Oh no, I know. Yeah, that was back when you could produce. I had the Jeep. I had a Jeep. I had my cousin gave me everything when I was like I was a little older, and I didn't really I didn't care about it. I played with him for a little while, and then I was kind of out of it. But I had the freaking Jeep, which is as big as this table. I had the space capsule. Something else like a mortar tank or something. I don't know. It was fucking crazy.
I remember one year for Christmas, I think my grandparents got me a clothing set for GI Joe, like the 12-inch figures.
Yeah,
but I had no GI Joe figures at that point. I think I had one single 3.75-inch one, and I'm like,
"Don't you love the Action Man, Tom?"
Yeah, I'm like, thank you. I guess.
That is totally a grandparent gift. It's like, that's great. And a Bee Gees album, thanks. That's great. I'm not digging this sculpt. Maybe it's just me.
The sculpt looks like a robot chicken sculpt, so they can animate the face. There's something weird about it.
It reminds me of somebody, an actor, and I can't think of who the hell it is. I can't put my finger on it. It's like a character actor, and I can't remember who it was. So Seamless Arms, which, okay, that's cool. I don't know. I'm not into GI Joe. I think that looks a little goofy.
But that actually looks like the cartoon. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like the goofy Roblox from the cartoon.
Yeah.
With the
that's actually the best shot I've seen of him so far because he's wearing that helmet.
Maybe that's it. Maybe it's that. This is kind of a scaled up. Well, there's a little more detail there, I guess. I don't know. I guess if I was going to get like a toy line, it was strictly a toy line that was like 375, then 6, and very colorful. And I was going to spend a lot in 6 scale. I'd want something that looks a little like there's a take on it. You know what I mean? Like let's do a take that's a little more of a realistic take, where this vest looks a little more real or something. I don't know. Maybe I just don't care for G.I. Joe. I don't know.
Yeah, it's almost like a fantasy military action kind of deal. It's almost sci-fi.
Yeah, I mean, I know when the Resurgence came around, it was kind of like that. Although I don't know if the cartoon is really well. Yeah, it was kind of. I don't know. I just like to see like more realistic materials here or something like that. It's
or if it's based on the cartoon, that 50 cal fires lasers. So
true enough.
It's true.
I don't think we have a price or a date on this, do we?
Yeah, his torso does not move at all.
No, that's exactly when you said that. I was like, yeah you're right. That's killing it.
Hell no.
Hopefully it's removable, because if it's removable, then at least there's a figure underneath you could do something with.
Backpack looks cool. That looks cool.
Yeah. It does look cool.
All the gear looks great.
On top of plastic.
Like all the straps and everything look really cool.
I have the Sideshow, the 2 Snake Eyes, and the Winter Combat Storm Shadow, and those bodies are atrocious. But all the little gear and the kit, the military stuff on it is really very awesome. The webbing and stuff they wear.
Yeah.
I bet it's only.
I did look this up. I think it was pretty. I think you're right. I think it was like around 185. It reminded me of like the Mondo He-Man stuff. Like
it wasn't typically on the affordable side for 1/6.
Yeah,
I say.
But
it's on Big Bad Toy Store at 170.
Okay.
And what was the Snake Eyes and Storm Shadow were like 140?
Yeah, I think so.
So I mean,
wouldn't mind
that's
ripping the elbows on those seamless arms.
You know it will too at that price point, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Snake Eyes was $145.
Okay.
Wow.
Not bad.
That is $20 more than the Mezco version, which is half the size. Just
Yeah.
so
yeah.
we have a good idea.
And you talk about the splitting arms. I mean, you're going to want this guy holding this gun. I mean, he's going to have to.
Yeah,
On
with
the
elbows
shelf.
bent. Yeah.
So they're going to rip.
Yeah.
It's just.
I'm looking forward to getting Ahsoka so I can rip her elbows.
I gotta tell you, like, they feel pretty sturdy. I think
John?
that material's gotten a lot better. Although this just doesn't look like that same
Yeah.
feisty
I wouldn't do it
material.
intentionally. It would be a tragic accident.
Like, look at the look at the muscle. That doesn't look like it's gonna move at all. Man. I
No.
don't know.
Also, that's not where a muscle goes. That's an elbow.
No, this is completely wrong. I don't know what
Yeah.
the hell this is here. This little line there.
Yeah. Anatomy, then, folks. Anatomy.
So,
That looks
Rob
like okay.
Li-
So
Rob-
whenever I
Rob
edit
design.
photos, I sometimes try to take the joints out of the arms. That looks like when I have to like makeshift an elbow and I can't make it work. I'm like, that works fine for this toy photo,
Yeah,
but not for an actual figure, please.
Exactly.
Like, don't do it.
exactly. All right, so that's there. God, I forgot the name of this. Hang on a second.
I thought
It's,
this figure's not old.
No, I don't. There was a 1/12th.
Sean, you're
Is
gonna
it-
remember for that, by the way.
That's fine.
Okay.
I think this is new. This is coming out Q2 2022. I don't think it was
It's not
up.
a
I don't know.
re-release
I've
or
never put
anything?
it up here anyway. So it's Musashi Miyamoto, who I guess was actually a real person. I have the 1/12th version of this. I can't remember who put it out.
Okay.
I didn't know it was. I thought it was just samurai. It was like coup models or something like that. And I guess he was actually like an artist's warrior or something. In I think he died in the 1800s or something like that, early 1800s. So I don't know. I just thought it was kind of. It's a beautiful figure.
Yeah.
Really cool, stylized. Lots of stuff with it. I don't know. Just thought it was kind of interesting.
Is it
and great
forearm?
photography too? Like, hey, can somebody take this out and put it in the backyard? And
They heard you like giant ferns, Trevor. They heard you like giant ferns.
Exactly. Well, I'm sure this guy is going to get better over the next couple of years.
Give him 3 years.
He's going to grow into it, and by the
He's got to
time he
do a couple
does,
stormtroopers with explosions behind him first.
He has to go through that period. That's like the
That's
middle
what you need is
period.
an alien queen behind him. That's what you need.
That's right.
Yeah, no, just really, really cool looking. And reminded me
so-
that I have this figure somewhere, and I should probably pull it out and shoot it.
So
the veins.
Are those going to be replaceable forearms? Or what?
I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet because
Like the Joker?
I don't know if they even have like a full. Oh yes, they are.
Oh, they are. Okay. Oh wow. So they go right to the joint. That's great.
Yeah.
That's
So you
actually
get
the preferred for
three?
me.
Is that 3 or is that the ones he's got on that are also there? I can't tell. It might be the same hand, like kind of that claw hand.
Well, it
and,
kind of does look like it's the same. So you get 2, maybe.
I mean, not going to be great in terms of like fighting stances and stuff like that, but I mean, it's not necessarily martial arts. He's a samurai. He's using swords, so that's fun. That's cool. I don't know. Does it have a price on it? Let's see. $285. Q2
$285?
$285. Yeah. It's,
Okay. Toy companies, let's stop the 285. You hit too far. You have gone into a whole new price point that I'm
Yeah.
starting to not get comfortable with.
I've never heard of this. This company's called ZGJK Toys, which just rolls off the tongue. So I don't know if they've done anything else. It looks familiar, but I don't know. $285, not for me, but kind of cool.
No. Yeah.
I mean, good on them,
And
man.
then we got a little Susu leak.
Oh boy.
Susu leek leeks are my favorite kind of leek leeks. I
That's
guess.
right. It's delicious. You put a little soy sauce in there, man. That's great. Where did you find this, Tom? Where was this?
So I saw some people posting it on Instagram, and then I went on to Twitter to hunt it down. and then I found a couple of people posting as well. So I don't know who started, who leaked it, or whatnot. But this is apparently coming out of Susu, who recently just did the Rorschach figure as well in 1/6 scale, and this is the Ozymandias. Oh, you got him! Yeah, so there you go.
He's excellent.
Wow. He looks really gorgeous,
really good.
And
the head sculpt, I put the head sculpt away, but it's incredible.
Yeah.
Really, I'm psyched, man.
Is his neck skin toned?
It is.
Okay.
Wow.
Can you see it?
Yep.
It goes like right down, like it's a sock.
Yeah,
like it goes right.
Like
down.
it actually looks like a mask he pulled over his head.
Yeah.
No, that one looks great.
It's excellent. The clothing is excellent. I'm psyched for this, man. I think this is going to be really, really cool.
I mean, they definitely Batmanized the nipple suit on Ozymandias, which is accurate to the movie. They gave him nipples in the movie.
Yep.
I would have liked to see Night Owl next, but if you're going to do one, I guess maybe jump straight to the villain. Spoiler, I guess, if you haven't read or seen The Watchmen.
Spoiler alert for a 30-year-old comic.
But it looks spot on. It looks perfect, right? I mean,
yeah, it looks great. I mean, that body's not going to move at all, but I'm okay with that. I just want it on. I mean, honestly, I just want these guys on the shelf. Ozymandias, I mean, what does he do?
He doesn't have to move.
He's a thinker. He sits in the suit. He sits in a chair. That's all he's got to do. As long as he can
to
bend to sit in some sort of. That would be amazing.
I'm hoping that Flix Toys, who did the 1/12 version of Rorschach, does the exact same thing and rips off Susu and does this in 1/12 scale.
There you go.
Great. That Rorschach is incredible.
Yes, I have that one, and it's incredible.
But so far, they haven't done the comedian, though, right? They haven't done because these guys did the comedian. Susu did the comedian.
Yeah, Susu did the comedian. Yeah.
And yeah, I mean the price. I mean, yeah, it's third party. Yeah, I mean you're skirting license holders. I mean Alan Moore doesn't. I mean, who knows? You probably rip your face off if he saw you with it. But I'm glad they're doing them because I want them. So I'm happy for this. Yeah, I would love to see Night Owl next.
Night Owl is the one I'm waiting for. Yeah,
I want everybody, and then I want classic versions of them. Classic version of the comedian.
Oh yeah.
I want Night Owl wearing a sweatsuit, please.
I want sad Dan Dryberg sitting on the stairs.
Yes. Yes. And then I'd really love to see the show. Some of those guys, some of the people from that.
That show is amazing. Mm-hmm. I'm glad it actually, like in retrospect, I know when it was happening, I'm like, I could go for more of this, but I'm glad that if they didn't have more story to tell, they stopped it at the one season.
Me too.
Like, that was a perfect end for it. So
very happy that they didn't go on and try to I'm glad that HBO didn't also we got to have, that was a hit. We got to have 12 more.
Yep.
Doesn't matter. Let's just team these guys up and put them together.
Regina's character's name was Sister Knight. Is that what
Sister Knight? And then
she would
there
be a
was
great figure.
What was the dude with the mirror?
Oh, I loved him.
Looking Glass? No.
Looking Glass. I think it was Looking Glass.
Looking Glass, yeah.
Yeah.
I think
he was great.
Yeah, I love that.
Just a Regina King figure would be fun.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
And she was a badass when she was Sister Knight.
Yeah.
It was a good costume, good everything.
What a show.
Do you expect that we'll get Dr. Manhattan from Susu?
I mean, yes, with the dong and without the dong, I think we'll get both versions.
Dong, you can just go get yourself a Fison and spray paint that thing blue.
Yep.
Yeah, done.
I mean, you don't do everybody and not do the easiest one for them to make, which is exactly that. It's a dyed Fison Bazi, right? Right. It's easy.
Yeah. Hopefully. All right, then we got the figure that no one asked for, the werewolf. I don't know what the hell's going on here. Toys Born. I know I've heard of them before. I don't know. I can't remember what the hell they've done. It seems like every week there's a new.
Nothing good.
Nothing good.
Apparently.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell this is. I mean, I know what it's supposed to be, but I don't know what the hell they were thinking here.
They shouldn't have gone for likeness. If they couldn't get the likeness, they shouldn't have gone for it, you know?
They could have gone for a comic look and just gone for hey, this is maybe they were, but I mean this is approaches.
It's too close to Hugh Jackman for it to not be an attempt at Hugh Jackman.
Exactly.
And a poor one at that. Yeah.
Exactly. Oh god.
Oh boy.
That's gonna haunt my streams tonight. That is oof.
I mean, it looks like a good version of whoever that guy is.
Yeah, but that guy is. It's like what was that actor from 4 Rooms? Oh
I
God,
don't know.
he was the hotel man. Or God,
I had a
Alan. He was in. Oh no, he was in Reservoir Dogs too. What the hell's his name?
Tim
What
Roth.
is his
Steve Buscemi.
No, it's not Steve Buscemi. It's the other guy. It's the English guy.
Tim Roth.
Tim Roth. It's got a little Tim Roth in there on the eyes.
It does. I can see it, Tim Roth. Sure.
Yeah.
Hugh Jackman.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't see it.
It's
I
not,
don't see it.
it's not Hugh Jackman. No,
No, it's
not at all.
It's bizarro. Never mind.
Yeah.
that's pretty
this
brutal.
hair isn't even like. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that's that. Let's get that off the screen.
I thought the hair was great. It's everything underneath the hair that's terrible.
Yeah, no, the hair is fun. I like the hair. I don't mind the hair. It's fine.
I didn't even have a price for this because you shouldn't be.
It
buying
doesn't
this,
matter.
but,
Don't buy it.
I mean,
Don't
listen.
buy it.
Like, I mean, it's an army suit. Like, it's. I feel like, oh, you could buy this and you could put another head sculpt on it. Like
Yeah.
there's stuff you can buy third party, but it's not even worth it. I don't know, unless it's like $125 or something like that.
$80, I'm sold.
Yeah.
Just for the body.
All right, and then I saw this. I just threw this in here. I hadn't seen
adorable.
anything like this Xbox Series X.
So people can actually get an Xbox for once.
Yeah, exactly. I see. You still can't get a PlayStation 5 though, and even
No,
1.6.
sorry.
That just doesn't. I'm sorry, you got to wait in line for that one. Kind of cool. So if you want your figures playing Xbox,
I think it's great. You
Maybe they
have
have
them
time
living
for
out the
it.
dream that you yourself cannot live because you can't get one of these.
exactly. Nor do I have time to play it, so I could just pose them playing it and feel like, oh, you've played Elden Ring now. Great, thank you. Because I can't get to it. All right, so this is a kind of our main topic here. This is gonna be quick. We're just talking about hello.
The dogs are like, sorry, you're getting to your main topic at what time?
I know 11 o'clock. We're gonna go with it's quick. I mean, we're just gonna show the point that InArt Queen Studios 1/6 division is showing now they are doing the Batman in 1/6.
Yep.
And the
They put him on a
sculpt
really nice looking pedestal, by the way.
right. It's beautiful. Sculpt looks beautiful in its purse. And the hair is fantastic, which brings us to our next slide, which is, oh, look at that. Now, I don't know about the timing of this, but I saw the InArt one first, maybe a day before.
I saw this first.
You
and
saw
then
this
I
first?
Yeah, I saw this first, and then I saw the InArt. Oh, but I don't know the timing either.
Yeah, I don't know.
I thought
who came
InArt
up
was
with
like, oh, hey, they're updating their sculpt. Let's put out our thing. But it seems more like a Hot Toys is reaction to InArt more than
It
anything.
seems like a Hot Toys reaction, yeah.
Mhm.
And more the more I read online, it seemed like people had more people had seen the InArt one, and then suddenly Hot Toys posted this, like, we're working on the hairstyle, because the first version of it, which I should have pulled up and I didn't have the messy hair. It kind of had it a little more neat, more like in the suit scene that he had. So when you've got pulling off the cowl and he's got the black makeup
Yep.
on, obviously his hair is a little messier.
I'll tell you
So that's
though,
good.
PERS is what's going to possibly push me one way over the other.
Me
I'm
too.
glad I haven't pre-ordered yet. Although, I'd take that back a step. If InArt does not come with the bat signal, you know what? I'm going back a step again. Hot Toys is releasing the bat signal solo, so that voids that whole argument. Never mind. I'm going to go InArt so far.
Are we? Yeah, I was just gonna say that's true. You can get the bat signal solo.
Yep.
Because I was thinking, like, are we getting to the point where we were talking about with Miles? It's like, oh, I'll take a little bit of this. I'll take a little. Now
Yeah.
I'm ordering $285 figures to get one good figure. I'm not doing that.
I'm not doing that either, but luckily the bat signal is sold alone, that if I need to, I can get the InArt Batman and then the
Right.
Hot Toys bat signal. That's fine.
I did already pre-order the Hot Toy.
I've been waiting because I spent $1,000 on a fucking Joker figure.
That was
Excuse
even
my French.
before. I think I even put that in before the Joker was even shown. I jumped on that. I don't know why, but I did. Sean, are you picking up any of these?
Yeah, I'm one of the two. I have
Okay.
I loved the movie, and
Yeah.
I would love to see what the InArt one looks like.
Yeah.
And then I'll make my choice because you have so much time with the pre-orders never sell out for the most part. So I got tons of time.
That actually brings up a really good question, though, right? Because like the InArt Joker is due to release this year. If they put out the Batman like maybe 2 months from now, do we see that first quarter of 2023, or do we see that
possibly?
Like that's going to be well before Hot Toys.
Yeah.
And it might be the superior version. So who knows?
This is where they have the advantage, I think. I don't know how they have the advantage. I mean,
neither do I.
Only in that they've created a 1/3 version of it. Did they do a 1/4 version? I think they just did a 1/3 scale version of this, which we looked at the last time we talked about maybe it's the last show. I don't remember. Unbelievable. I mean, their work is incredible. The sculpt work is amazing. The paint work is amazing. Yeah, if they can nail down getting these things out within a year, they're gonna kill, man. They're gonna kill Hot Toys. Because honestly, if they come out with this and it's the same price point, it's got purrs and I have to give up like the squirrel suit. Okay.
I'm okay giving up the squirrel suit. Okay,
exactly.
Please save that accessory. Give me something else. I don't even care.
Oh, you mean that thing that I will never take out of the box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want the squirrel suit.
Do you?
I'm gonna shoot with it. Yeah.
Okay.
Like one
Give
time.
me the one.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. You got to try it once. So I mean, I guess this kind of brings up like some other things in this along these lines. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, Asmus is kind of hasn't reached the limit with Lord of the Rings, but now they've started the Crown series, and the next Crown series that they come out with, maybe it's Gandalf the White or something like that. Do you go, gonna wait? Let's see what InArt does first. I mean, this is an unproven company, except that they've released stuff that is fantastic, and but in the 1/6 world, we haven't seen anything.
I wanted this one. I actually want to talk about this for a second. It does look like InArt is a necked sculpt, and I believe Hot Toys is not, correct?
What is a necked sculpt? The Joker is a neck sculpt.
The Joker is, but also go back to the shot that you had.
They are showing it with a neck.
Yeah. So that kind of changes things too a little bit, right? Because that means that the Batman head will also be necked.
But it could.
Batman head could be a two-part piece.
It could be a two-part. Yeah.
We don't really know.
I know people who in the bat suit. I mean, if this is coming with the Batman, obviously it is. I guess I'd be okay with this. I don't love neck sculpts. I don't know what the point is. I mean, unless it's an old person that you need to have show that they're old. I don't understand. But if it's sticking in, the neck of the suit, the thing you're missing is his ability to look up or down. I mean, how often are you going to do that with this head in the bat suit? You know what I mean? I don't know. I think I could have Batman looking up at the bat signal hitting the sky. Like Batman, yes, but Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne, looking up in a window, readying up, looking at the bat signal up in the sky. You can't do that with the next sculpt. It would be weird. But in a head where you could actually tilt him up and looking over.
Yeah, no, I know we talk about this all the time as photographers. We want the ability to neck moves like this. You don't move your head like that. Your neck doesn't move and your head moves on it. So
yeah,
that's a good point. That is a good point.
Something to think about at least. I want to see before I make any decisions. InArt's full offering, really, because we've seen Hot Toys.
Yeah.
Granted, they're reworking, and Hot Toys looked beautiful before they decided to rework the hair and all that.
Absolutely, so I was down with it, man. I'm literally, I'm thinking, not literally, but I'm thinking how much I did. We talked about it. We saw the third scale Batman Bruce Wayne that they did. And it looked great, and Hot Toys look fantastic, man. There's really nothing wrong with that. The only problem I had, and it was a minor quibble, was this hair, and they're fixing it. So I thought the sculpt looked great. I thought the paint looked great on it. If it comes out like that, I'll be pretty happy with this, and I probably won't need InArt. But like you said, we don't know what they're offering with it. We don't know what it's coming with. Joker was a little sparse, but will there be a? I can't imagine they're not gonna do a haired version of this. That would be a mess. Nah, I can't imagine they're gonna offer that.
But at this point, for this figure, I would go sculpted.
I don't think it's going to work. It doesn't work with short hair like this. It just doesn't.
It also doesn't work for just the Bruce Wayne head. I'm not going to pay it just for the Bruce Wayne head.
No.
Like it's no, thank you.
Correct. Right.
Joker, his hair is out all the time. You do that,
and it's green and it's long. Yeah, it's matted and So that's not going to be a thing. So I mean, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. The Purrs is a nice.
Purrs is a very nice touch. That also might mean that the Batman also has Purrs.
You would hope. That would be great.
You would hope.
We, the thing about what's good about this company, though, and I think they take after Asmus like this, is that you can go on, join their Facebook groups. I think they have a group for InArt, and they have a Queen Studio group.
But you have to join Facebook, though, right?
Yeah, you have to do it. Well,
I mean,
Queen Studio is on Instagram, so I don't know if they're posting the stuff or I don't know if there's an InArt Instagram account yet. Probably is. But go on and tell them, like, listen, love the Purrs, hate the neck sculpts. Like, we want to be able to move the head around on this, and maybe they'll think about it.
Like, I'm okay with it on Joker because that figure just looks like a special piece. Alone.
Yep.
But for Batman, when he's wearing the suit, he needs full mobility of that neck.
But the thing is with the Joker, like, I've got sculpts that don't have. Part of it is like his neck is partially painted, and then it fades to flesh. So if you want that look, you kind of have to do that. You could do it as, like you said, a two-piece neck, but or two-piece head and neck. But Batman, I could deal with this with Purrs. We'll see. I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting world we're living in if they're going to be crossing over on a lot of this stuff. And they just did a Loki, which was incredible.
Oh, yeah. What's actually really funny is I think Alberto's comments are coming in way after the fact, but he actually just said, because I think he just got to where we are in the Loki stuff. And he's like, have you guys seen the quarter scale Loki? I'm like, yeah, their Loki is unbelievable. At first, when they teased it, I thought that it was going to be a 1/6 scale figure. I'm like, oh well, looks like I'm getting a new Loki figure, but luckily it was a statue.
Well, what I'm thinking is, like, using this. Whoops, I just missed it. Look at, good
Insane.
Lord.
No, come on.
If you can give me this and
go to the pre-order page, because like you see his full body, it's amazing.
Yeah.
The whole thing is it's stunning.
And he's like standing on that Tesseract.
And can we? Okay, hang on a
generator.
second. Let's take a. Oh no, that's four. Okay, it's $1,000. It's $1,100. Okay.
Yeah, of course. Which is the same price as what I paid.
I was looking at
for,
$660, and I'm like, wait a minute, hang on a second. Yeah, incredible. This is.
Lenny also fell for the same thing, or maybe not. Maybe he's joking.
I didn't even see the 430 due now. I just saw 660.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no, that's just the deposit. That's what you got to put down to then pay
Right.
$600 later.
Right. But that's sick, man.
Unbelievable detail. This is what they do, though. This is like what Queen Studio is known for. It's like it's gorgeous detail, gorgeous like realism. In these larger scales, and I think 6 scale is the smallest I've seen them work. And what we saw with InArt Jokers, they're able to translate this stuff that they're able to masterfully do in larger sizes into the 1/6 line, and that just like disrupts everything Hot Toys has established them as the dominant factor of.
Yeah. I don't know if that's apples to apples you're comparing there, Frail, but you're right.
I like where Angel's going with that, but yeah.
I think
no,
these
but I
figures
mean,
are
like,
photographed in a way that's really compelling too.
Yeah.
I mean, that looks like it's from Avengers 1.
It looks like
Yes.
they know what they're doing when they're promoting their stuff,
Yeah.
right?
oh hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not taking it out and putting it in front of a fern. That's for
The
sure.
there's a
What are you
little catch
talking
light
about?
in each
Photo
eye.
photography is life.
Fern Photographers of America, unite.
There's a Facebook group.
Yeah, I mean, like, if
FOA.
I don't think they have the Marvel license, but God help us if they get it, man. That's gonna be nuts. Yeah, crazy, but it's gonna be interesting.
The
Coming up.
competition's good.
I'm here for the challenge. I mean, people
yeah.
challenge Hot Toys, make Hot Toys do exactly what we just saw them do with Batman, where they revisit a sculpt that they showed off and be like, sorry that our amazing looking sculpt wasn't amazing enough. So we're doing this without, like, they saw the competition. They were like, okay, we have to clearly do something about this.
Mhm.
And they did it. So by all means, Queen, keep giving Hot Toys challenges. Says I'm ready for us winning of that, which is getting better.
Yeah,
figures.
absolutely. And I mean, they have been nailing certain things. I mean, that Loki's incredible. It was the Eternals.
Oh, Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh was
looked
incredible.
on point. Yeah.
Uh,
As did their
So it's
Angelina
not-
Jolie. Like, she looked amazing too.
She looked good.
Tina.
It's not like they haven't been nailing them. There's certain things, though. Even the Batman looked great. There's certain things that slip through the cracks, and what I'd like to see is like that doesn't happen. You know what I mean? Or I would love for them to revisit, and I can't imagine that they're not going to do this. Although I know Star Wars right now isn't
Bo-Katan.
hot, but I'd love to see them go back to the originals. Like that, the Han Solo sculpt they did was no good. The Luke Skywalker sculpt was terrible.
Yep.
I'd love to see them go back to those figures and
They've
re-release
teased
those.
that DX07 re-release, that Bespin Luke.
The
They've
Bespin
shown
Luke
it.
is supposedly been coming for a year.
Yeah.
Since we were at, I think we saw it at
San Diego.
SDCC back in 3 years ago, whatever it was.
In the good times, before the
Good
end times. Yeah.
That's right. Before the darkness.
And
before
Howard Chan is teased in Bespin Han. He's teased in episode 5 Han Solo for years.
Yeah.
In the same interview, he teased Lando, which is out now. So
My collection is waiting for Han. It has been waiting for Han for a long time, and it will continue to wait until someone does them. Like
the Stormtrooper in disguise sculpt isn't terrible.
No, he's got like
I
great
got
face.
mine. I got on.
yeah, we know. Yeah, we know.
That's what a costume.
What's your May the 4th shot, Trevor? Talk about it.
I don't know.
We're
I don't
coming
have
close.
anything.
It's a month away.
I know.
I have
and I'm
never
panicking.
posted a photo for a holiday on time. The Krampus shot I did for Christmas was the first time I was ever close to a holiday. I can't do it. I'm so. Ugh.
I can't
But
do
going-
it either.
Christmas I can get. Halloween I mess up and I usually don't have anything for Halloween. May the 4th I've got to come up with something. But yeah, to go back to that, like where the hell is Bespin Ham? I can't imagine that's not some sort of likeness rights with Harrison Ford. I mean, it's been teased without the face, body, and it's like it was the 40th anniversary. What? Last year, 2 years ago? I don't even remember anymore.
Yeah.
Celebrations
Yeah.
happening now, and it's going to be the
Nothing really happened for the 40th anniversary. Like,
nothing
no-
because celebration didn't happen. So
Yeah.
that was going to be the big celebration, which was going to be great. And now I think we're like, what is it? Attack
In
of the
between.
Clones
Yeah.
is like the celebration this year. It's like, oh,
Wonderful.
great, fantastic.
Wonderful. No one gives a crap. It's like the
Nobody
worst
cares.
Star Wars. It's probably everybody's least favorite Star Wars movie, right?
Absolutely.
Well,
no, probably not.
maybe the most recent one might be up there.
No.
It's hard to make a worse movie than The Rise of Skywalker.
Well, let me tell you, Attack of
no.
the Clones
Attack of the
has
Clones.
a good challenge card thrown into the ring for that.
No.
Well, I'm also 20 years removed from that movie, so my opinion matters less. If I had seen both movies for the first time together
Yeah.
now, then who knows? But nostalgia, I mean, time time has a way of softening all of those
Sean,
opinions.
do me a favor. Watch that movie this weekend and tell me where the green screen ends and the people begin, because let me tell you, there's a nice soft blend between both that you can clearly see in every scene.
I just go by my wife's reaction, who, when she watched, Return of Skywalker, was like, yeah, it's all right. And then she wanted to walk out of Attack of the Clones. She was just like, this is awful.
When
I know, but I got to see this through. Man, I got to see this through. Star Wars, something's got to happen here. Nothing happened. I never heard this one. Oh, that's not it.
I can see that as a funny joke. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool if they could get the rights. Nobody's had the rights to that yet, though. Sideshow put out a figure.
Do you remember that Comic-Con that they wouldn't talk about it at all?
And
Like,
what they were doing is they were trying to get the rights for that at the time, and I think they were just trying to prove that it could be done. And I don't know who owns that or what the deal is with it, but it seems almost like the deal that Mad Max, what's his name, has. They just won't release anything. He doesn't want any kind of anything coming out of that. I would love to see if Queen could get the Joaquin Joker somehow. Like they've managed to do statues and 1/4 scale, the premium figures, right? I mean, they're not articulated, but you can swap out the parts.
No, they're all
and stuff
statues
like
or whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I would love that. I mean, I don't know what the parameters are of that, like whether it can't be a action figure.
I
or
wonder
whatever,
too,
but
because we've seen so many collectibles of that Joker, but never a figure. And it's gotten to the point now where, I mean, this is me. I don't really care, but I think that it would be great for a lot of people who have been clamoring for that Joker in figure form to see it happen.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right. I think that's a show. We didn't keep it under 2 hours. Well, we kept it under 2 hours, but only barely. Sean, man, thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you.
Thanks, Sean.
Thank you so much for having me.
Go check out
Thank you
Sean
for
on
being on
Instagram.
here, Sean.
What's that?
I was just thanking Sean. But yes, please visit him on Instagram, Visual Force.
At visual approach photo visual _approach _photo. Those underscores, it kills me too, man. I forget mine. Like 16 shooter. No, it's not 16 shooter. The link is in the description, so follow him there if you don't already follow him. And I know there's a lot of people here that already do, but if you're watching this later,
if you're
watching this,
so follow.
What's that?
You said you're missing out if you don't follow him. So
hell yeah, oh yeah. As well as these two gentlemen here as well.
Yes.
At capes and rifles.
Wait, do I have an underscore?
You have dots.
You have dots.
All right,
It's right there on
I'm
the
the
screen.
only one with nothing. It's just I have a Watu. That's right.
No dots.
Follow me. No dots.
No
No
nothing.
underscores.
way.
You just got not
For some reason, of is capitalized, but that's okay. That's okay.
Hey, I did that myself. It's fine. It's all lowercase on Instagram. It doesn't matter.
Yeah. So, thanks very much for everybody coming by. Don't forget the like button before you leave. If you haven't subscribed, if you're watching this later, consider it. There's some good stuff going on. Monday night, tomorrow night, I'm going to be in New Jersey with the Four Horsemen, revealing the new Cosmic Legions figures. And we're going to be recapping all that stuff on Monday on Legions Lounge, giving away all the prizes from the Pop and Swap contest on the Cabal. And that's going to be a big show. It's going to be fun. So if you're into Legions at all, if you're Legions curious, whatever.
It sounds like a sexuality. I'm very Legions curious.
Well, you might be. Join us and find out. We'll be gentle.
They're going to be releasing their flag with the special colors Monday
right.
night as well.
That's right.
Okay. Let's end this.
Pretty weird. All right. You guys got anything else going on that we should know about? Anything happening soon?
Nope.
No.
Happy birthday to my daughter Zoe, who turns 8 tomorrow.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
Zoe.
Zoe.
Awesome. Very cool. And Sean and I will be at the look it up. The Toy Photo Con,
Toys in Action.
Toys in
Photography
Action Con
Convention.
up in Saratoga, New York, in June
June 18th.
June 18th. So if you're interested in that, go to Instagram. Go to follow Sir Dork. He's got some stuff on it. I don't know if it's got its own.
And there's a Toys in Action Instagram page.
There is all right. Sean's got all the information.
Yeah.
Again, just go to Sean, follow Sean, and then message him for all the questions that you have about this, because I know nothing about this.
Follow this man.
That's right.
Give him more numbers.
I just like
do this.
anybody that wants to talk about toy photography or toys. I'm your guy.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks everybody for joining, and we will see you in 2 weeks.
All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Hey guys.